First of all, no one has ever said toboggan.
This is why Google exists.
Man, nobody says that.
Toboggan hat.
Nobody has
A toboggan is a winter hat, and its origin is in the south of the USA. It's not just any other winter hat that is referred to as a toboggan. It has to be a knit hat. Negro, you are wearing a toboggan. What's up, guys? Welcome back.
What up, folks?
Was that a new sound that you were trying from the beginning?
I was going to do the brr, 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 but I was like, we always do that.
Do you feel like that was exciting? Well,
it was more of a tornado warning.
Yeah.
From Midwest, you hit them with the tornado warning. They know it's time. It gets
Man,
real.
it's too soon. Tornadoes has wrecked.
I didn't say tornadoes happening. I said warning. It was this. That's a tornado warning.
Well, welcome to Random Ass Convos with Twilla and Dion.
Ellipses.
No ellipses. We are back, and I believe, is this the final one for the year?
Oh, yeah,
it just sounded. Is this
over.
the last one?
They didn't renew my contract.
They didn't renew it for the year.
It depends on you if you want to be smart and shoot a couple of them.
We can shoot for the year that's airing this year.
I said it's up to you if you want to be smart and shoot a couple of them while you're gone. Mm-hmm. But technically, for Wednesday, yes. This is the last one.
I thought we discussed that we'd take 2 weeks off and come back. But that must have not hit the dockets.
I didn't get that at all.
We talked about it last week. Okay,
I don't know if we can afford 2 weeks off. I guess I just gotta find some straggler off the streets.
I mean, if you want to do it Zoom, you want to Zoom?
No, I will find somebody. You're gonna be having time of your life over.
I won't be here I'll be here next week, but I'll be in town next week.
All right.
Anyway, so look at us figuring out our calendars.
As we go.
Yo, how has your week been?
It's good. That's it.
That's it? That's all you got?
How was your week? Let's go for it.
Ooh, it was good. It was a busy week. I'm working on a show. This week we were on set. You know, I can't disclose that much about it, but it was...
I don't care about that show. He makes like this was...
No, we have a social media thing where we can't talk about it. Most shows do.
No,
but most shows do.
It's like somebody saying, "Yeah, we shooting."
I mean, you act like I'm not shooting a Netflix show with a big time production company. I'm just gonna put that out there.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Nobody's looking for it.
Okay.
Nobody's not like, "Yo, when is that new Transformers 6 coming out? When is that new Ninja Turtles coming out?"
Yeah, I work on a kids show. Period.
Now I'm Jimmy Kimmel. I'm getting some.
That's all the tea that you're gonna get. It's a kid show.
Squeezed it out.
You're so
unless it ain't.
Why would you belittle a work? I mean, you belittle the work that I'm working on, that I'm putting so much time in.
That
nobody checking for your little job.
Yeah, and I'm calling it little because its children are little. It's a job for little people. It's a little job.
You don't even know that much about it.
Now, if you had said something like Thundercats or Voltron, that's a hush hush.
Man, leave your 80s kids' fantasies back then.
I don't care about your little show. Anyhow.
That's why you sweating under that toboggan.
Because I ain't no haircut. Mm-hmm. It's called a toboggan? Why is it called toboggan, not a beanie?
I've heard toboggan, beanie, cap.
That's cap. First of all, no one has ever said toboggan. Let me get 2 new errors and a toboggan.
Nobody said toboggan, so then what did I just say, Negro?
You just said toboggan.
And you said nobody ever said toboggan. I
think you're getting it mixed up with like a turban or a togo.
This is why Google exists.
Man, nobody says that.
Toboggan hat.
Nobody has
a toboggan is a winter hat.
Look at the first picture that popped up, though.
And its origin is in the south of the USA. It's not just any other winter hat that is referred to as a toboggan. It has to be a knit hat. Negro, you are wearing a toboggan.
So what other beanie? What are beanies made out of?
is also referred to as a beanie, snooky, Sherpa, watch cap, or burglar hat. Any more questions today?
No one has never used any of those slurs except beanies.
You are from the Midwest. You all have a different dialect than we do in the South. So yes, I have words.
I said dialect. You can just use the different words. It has nothing to do with dialect. And like I said, tobacco.
That's an accent.
But you said different.
Dialect.
What's the dialect?
I'm just Googling everything
Yeah,
today
you
because you
Google
coming to
everything.
think. You coming for me.
It's like a dialect is how you say different words.
A particular form of a language which is peculiar in a specific region or social group.
So what am I saying when I'm trying to say like you're saying
Accent. Dialect is exactly, there's different regional dialects.
Mm-hmm.
We say different words. Like you say pop and I say soda. He actually says soda, but he thinks he says pop more than he says soda. It's so confusing. Go ahead.
Who you're arguing with yourself. I say I have converted over to soda.
Okay.
But I started off by saying pop. Mm-hmm. But when I say it so often, people are like, "What are you talking about?" So I had to eventually cut out the middleman by saying, "Let's get past this."
In the South, we say toboggan. That's my point. That is a dialect. Regional
if
dialect.
you want to be technical, you're not from the South. You're literally from North Carolina.
Okay, so
you are.
Hold on. Because what we want to highlight here is that in the South, in the southern area of the country, there's Carolinas. One is southern and one is northern of each other. Therefore, it's a cardinal direction, not a specific area within the state.
Sound like that's a confusing state. Sound like y'all both were trash.
I mean, like South Dakota is not in the South.
But it is
South of North Dakota.
They're trash as well.
My goodness.
Let me look where North Carolina is at. Let me see.
Is one of the original 13 colonies.
Same as Ohio.
Yeah, it was a colony.
You got something else? Oh, we finding out stuff today. We getting lit tonight. R.I.P. that what?
Let me see.
Let me take a look at North Carolina. I'm zooming out. Because it should have been called East Carolina.
No, it shouldn't have. Okay, so what was the original 13 colonies that you learned of in
What you laughing at?
in Dayton,
You having a good
Ohio?
time?
Which ones did y'all learn? I'm gonna look on the
No,
number.
that's not even real.
That's the real 13 colonies.
That's not real. That right there is not real.
Wow. Okay. Y'all, it's sadder than I thought. 13 colonies. You ready?
No.
Let's listen.
Hold on.
The original 13 colonies were Virginia, Massachusetts.
What is that?
Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
Massachusetts.
Like you had a stroke right there.
Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Hampshire, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. There was no Ohio anywhere in that.
So what you said?
You were purchased later. You were an afterthought. I'm just saying.
I just find it funny that California is more south than North Carolina.
Well, North Carolina, California, if you want to be accurate, is a western state that takes up most of the western side of the United States that happens to dip very low into the south.
Okay.
And then up into the northern, like right there up under Oregon. So California isn't more south. It has regions that's more south.
Okay.
If you want to be specific.
See right here.
All this because you wanted to come for my neck when I said I worked on a cool show and that I was having fun this week.
See, Ohio is one of the 13 colonies.
Let me see that. Let me see it. What'd you try to pull up?
What does it say?
It says Chillicothe
yo. Get it right, man.
was the state's first capital.
He's the owner of Ohio.
After 13 original colonies, Ohio was among the first states to join the union. Not even the first state, was among the first states to join the union. It was the fourth to join the union, if you want to be technical.
If you want to be technical, you was the first. Y'all state was the first one to say, yes, massa. We want to be a part of that. We was like, man, I don't know about
people
that.
are already there.
Nah,
it was like, already settled. And they were like, these are the colonies.
We wasn't feeling it.
Nobody traveled there. Y'all were an afterthought is what I'm trying to say.
I guarantee, we've done this before. If you had to do a survey of people that don't live in Ohio and has never lived in North Carolina and vice versa, which state would you rather live in?
Why are you comparing apples to oranges right now? Why are you talking about one thing and trying to deflect? I wanted you to stay on the subject, and argue that. Argue that point.
13 is an unlucky number. So that's why we didn't.
So you came in at 17 because you were like, oh, other people are doing it too?
Came in at 18 with the legal age.
17 because it was 13 colonies and then it was the fourth state to join.
We was the very last one, which was 18. We was legal.
Oh my gosh, y'all. I don't even know what's happening today.
We were legal. We're very welcoming. Ohio is a very welcoming state.
I guess what I'm trying to say, nobody cares about Ohio.
Here's though. So Ohio was like, oh, hi, and then somebody see the smell, like, oh, hi, oh. That's how you do it. Why would you? How y'all do in North Carolina? Boo.
No, that's a city. That was a city in North Carolina that goes Bull City.
And what y'all doing? How y'all just like carbon copies. What came first, North or South Carolina?
Actually, it was the Carolinas, and then we split
because y'all can't get it right. Y'all was like, man, we don't have a North and South Ohio because we figured it out.
Lord Jesus, give me strength today.
Ohio
what are we even talking about?
Ohio is a shield of the United States.
What are you talking about?
Why are you slapping the table, yo?
Because
you got insurance on the table?
Yes, actually.
So the thing is, Ohio is a shield. Have you seen Captain America's shield? Captain America's first shield looks like Ohio. That's how much Ohio means to America. Ohio is the heart of the United States.
Whew, you just really live
from the east is the east. From the south of Ohio is the south. To the left is Midwest. Man, we the heart of the United States.
Wait a minute. Can I ask you a question?
Here we go.
You really leaning into this random ass convo today? And I just want to know, like...
Oh.
Hi! Oh my goodness, dude.
Ohio, stand up.
I taught you. I bet you learned something. All your life you thought you was one of the original 13 colonies. Tell the truth.
Salute, Ohio.
Tell the truth, Shane.
Love y'all.
Man, all right. That was one. You got a little education today. Mm-hmm. You welcome.
Loved it.
Have you been keeping up with news? Any current events?
All of it.
Yeah?
All of it.
What you hear?
I heard that Chris Cuomo have to give all his money back for the book that he
sold. Snaps! I didn't hear that.
All his money back.
He got an advance?
He got an advance. They said, get that money back, man. I don't know if he already wrote the book or...
He's like, I invested that.
But yeah, because they saying all the resources that you used to write this book, technically you can't make money off of that. So we need all that money back. It's like 5 million or 50 million. I know 5 in there somewhere.
They came kind of harsh. And you know what's interesting? Excuse me. It's kind of interesting seeing how CNN is handling Chris Cuomo's behavior for, so helping his brother and twisting journalistic boundaries. Mm-hmm. So today, I don't know if you heard that, like, Mark Meadows is being held or charged for contempt of court. I'm gonna say court because I can't get my words together.
For those who don't know who Mark Meadows is, could you please tell them who this strapping man is?
Do you know who Mark Meadows is?
I'm sure it's a man. So go and
Tell me more about Mark Meadows.
I know who Mark Meadows is.
Oh, okay. So he's actually a Republican representative. And he's from North Carolina. You good?
He's a North Carolina representative. That's a Republican, but
yeah,
you know the rest.
Okay, so pretty much the courts are finding that what's the investigation that the Senate is doing on the January 6th insurrection. They've already investigated Steve Bannon, and they said, well, he's holding back and we're gonna charge him with contempt. And Mark Meadows is pretty much facing the same thing, faces House contempt vote. Mm-hmm. And what they're finding is through text, he was cooperating for a little bit, and then he's like, all right, I can't share all that information with you, it looks bad. But pretty much what they're finding, and there's these texts and these emails, and some of these texts, you had Fox journalists texting Meadows, trying to convince him to get Trump to I'm going to pull it up. Stop the insurrectionists, right. And then you also had text from other representatives being like, hey, let's convince Pence to push this through, to stop the vote or whatever. So you have all these texts, and it's a lot of people are going back and forth. You had Fox journalists who Fox actually was doing their job. So do you give those Fox journalists a bump, good job, for trying to do something good? Or I don't know. I just thought that was a pretty interesting dynamic or contrast between what was going on with Mr. Chris Cuomo.
What I heard is because of this investigation, a lot of the text messages that were sent to Mark Meadows were contrasting what the Fox News people were saying. So it was Don Jr.
Okay.
Don Jr. was like, hey, Mark, you got to stop this. You're going to ruin this reputation. And then you have somebody I can't think of her name, the blonde lady from Fox News. She was like, do it. Get the president on the line right now to talk to his people, because it's not looking good for us. Mm-hmm. They're texting this during January 6th, but on the news, they tried to blame it on Antifa and the far left, and at the same time they did real time.
That's good.
Of what you're texting versus what you're saying on TV. So it was wow, this is getting out of hand. We already know that this is not our people. It is Antifa. It is the radical left trying to make this worse than it seems. This is not what it looks like. And they're contradicting themselves.
So it's really interesting because, why am I holding this? It's really interesting because because I just heard, just hearing one part of the Fox journalists were like, hey, calm that down. But when you pair it in juxtaposition with what was actually being stated on news, it's man, they don't even stand behind their journalistic integrity either. Right. So let's fire them too. But Fox has not commented on anything yet.
So there's a I'm sorry. There's a difference between news and, it's not opinions, but it's another type. It's kind of like satire, or it's kind of like where Stephen Colbert and Trevor Noah does. They're trying to lump Fox News into that category of don't take us seriously, but we have opinions. Don't call us news.
Who said Fox says that, or just in general?
Just people in general, because they're starting to become like a satire. They're starting to feel like The Onion now, because they're doing a lot of wrong things that don't have facts backing up. And once they're labeled as that, now
it's like kind of like that sensationalism that they sell, and they have to. That's their brand. They have to uphold that.
Right.
I kind of low key. I feel like CNN and MSNBC are the same way, on a different spectrum.
Right, but I kind of feel like Fox News, they don't get facts, like real facts. They like at least for CNN and CNBC, they have some sort of expert, not expert, but like some sort of experience that this person has done research, or like 90% true. But when it comes to Fox News, they just be kind of like, if you have an opinion about this, please come in.
I will say this. I feel like a lot of times news nowadays is about rating. Anything that's a 24-hour news channel is about like, how can we get the most ratings? So news used to be like, here are some facts. You draw your own opinion from these facts. But now it's like, well, these are the facts that we hear, and we're going to put our own leaning on these facts. So we could hear the same statistic, and people gather their own opinion from the statistics. So when you hear like 80% of murders committed against black people are by other black people, then you have one thought that's just like, oh, that's black on black violence. Like they're more against themselves than the police. And then you have other people who are like, or I wonder what's the rate of white on white violence. And then you could be like, oh, most people end up killing people within their own community. So you could take the same statistic and draw completely different conclusions.
And just stick to the negative view of the your viewers.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, and that's where you get, and like now you're starting to, you start pulling on people. And if you listen to MSNBC, Rachel Maddow be having you all in your feelings, like, oh man, you're right. That's crazy. Fox is crazy. And you watch Fox, and if you don't have the same ideology as the Fox network, you'll be like, oh man, these people are crazy. How did you come to this conclusion? And like, I remember watching closely when they were the Standing Rock, when they were talking about the oil line that they were building through Standing Rock. MSNBC had you feeling like, oh man, absolutely, they should stop this. This is the people's land. And then Fox had you like, well, there's so many people relying on these jobs that will come through. It's not fair.
Focus on the thing that's important.
Right. And you're just like, man, like this is two different arguments that you would never hear. And so like I said, I feel like people pull on sensationalism and try to keep their audience believing what they want to believe. But we just got to a point in this country where it's just like, now it's like such a schism between two. You can't even come to your own rational conclusion if you just hear that type of, talk all day long.
Right. So, opinions are if you drop numbers, if your numbers start to make sense, if they start to add up to things, like you can really convince people pretty much anything.
Yeah.
If you talk real fast and with confidence.
Yeah, man.
Because if you be like, a lot of people don't realize this, but if you eat 5 or 6 apple fritters within the month, you will definitely lose 15% body fat, because your ketosins are typically building itself up from its apples. That's like, if you say a bunch of stuff, it's like, whoa, now I can eat apple fritters. And
you're like, but what about the carbs and the fat? No,
because you're focusing on like if you eat 7 now, your insulin levels will shoot up. But if you fast for like another 6 days when it comes to sugar, it will feed off of that, and 95% of the time, that is, do a bunch of numbers and do a bunch of statistics.
Is
and
this
say,
your New Year's diet, by the way?
I've started. I'm on my 5th donut now, and I'm figuring this out.
Oh, yeah. Man. Let us know how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't go.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do, I listen to NPR for that reason. Not saying I think NPR and sometimes BBC. There's certain people that just tell me what's happening. Like, I don't need all your extra opinions. Like.
But that's not entertaining though.
Yeah, it's not. It's
if it's like there is there's a 45% chance raining, that's still someone's opinion. If it's like there's a pretty good chance it's going to rain, there's a pretty good chance it's not going to rain. So just be prepared for both sides. That right there helps both sides.
Right.
But if I say there's a 95% chance rain, that's still my opinion on if it's going to rain. So it's still siding with.
But it's based on science, though. It's not an opinion.
A lot of things are based off of science, but people find their own ways of saying. If I say there's a 10% chance of sunshine, so all you beach people and you focus on that,
yeah, people
are not focusing on the rain no more.
Right.
If I say there's a 10% of having the brightest, cloudiest sunshine, so I will be down in Santa Monica, so make sure you bring your trims. If I focus on that, no one's not thinking about the rain no more.
Right. But just saying, hey guys, there's a 90% chance of rain. Like, that's not an opinion. Like, I just feel like that's how the statistic go, because people want to know, is it going to rain? Nobody is like, man, is it going to be sunny? Like, you don't have to prepare for sunny.
But you saying it's science.
Yes.
You know what else is science?
Study it.
COVID. You know what's the science? The vaccine. But do people believe in science?
But it's how you present it. This is what I'm saying. It's how you present it. Like, I'm just saying, you can't go around and say that the chance of rain is opinion. Like this.
It 100% someone's opinion. Is I mean, like when they have tornadoes, they say it's a chance it's going to land.
Right, but nobody's being like, I think it might be a rain. Like, there actually is a science method to get to that conclusion. That's what I'm saying. Like, when you say opinion, that's like your thought on something, but not based on necessarily that much.
So if your husband caught you cheating and said, I'm on my way home, he tells me that, and I'm like, your husband's going away to kill you. That's my opinion. There's a strong chance he can kill you, but we don't know if he's going to kill you.
All you have to say is your husband's on the way.
Right. And my opinion is you better leave before he kills you.
So when it comes to weather, if you're like, it's a 72% chance of rain and it's going to flood, how are they coming up with these statistics? How they come up with meteorology is a whole science.
Right. So if I say
that people went to school for, it's a whole science.
Your husband has been drinking. His team lost, and he caught you cheating. He's on his way to kill you. Get out of here now. He was like, Dion, I can talk to my husband. So like, he's going to kill you. Scientifically speaking, everything is against him right now. That's still my opinion. Like, if I say a thunderstorm coming, danger's coming.
I mean, like, it's like, I don't know how to explain the fact versus opinion. It's not.
What if it's not an opinion? What's the percent? When we have percentage, it's like there's a 13% chance that this can happen.
Yeah, that's a ratio. That's a probability that something may happen, and probability is a portion of statistics and math that is also part of a science.
So when people are saying this is still science. People say take the vaccine because it is a 50% chance that we can reduce this, the death toll from COVID. That's still science and it's someone's opinion.
Well, let's put it this way. Somebody took all the systems, all the math, all the science. I won't even say science. They put it within the system. They tested the probability. Testing this for, testing the chance of rain, testing COVID vaccine. They ran it through all the systems and all the numbers several times. And it comes back out each time that, 71%, 72%, 73%. The median chance for rain is 72% after running all the calculations out through all the models. This is the conclusion that all the processes that have been proven time and time again that we've used for centuries to determine weather, this is what it says.
But it's still an opinion. It's not 100%. So there's still a chance that it might not come, right?
Opinions and okay. I don't think
because it's still practice. They're figuring it out. They still have to practice by saying, I can't say 100. This surgery that I'm going to give you right now is 100% accurate.
Well, okay, it's not an opinion; it's a probability. That's the word that you're going for.
Probability.
Yeah.
Probability, but at the same time, it's still
no. It's not an opinion.
When I verbally say, I am 100% on this procedure, and then you die. That was my opinion because my prior to that, I have been flawless to this surgery.
Right, and a doctor would never say that. Like, for example, and I'm using an actual recent situation. If I have to have a procedure. My doctor said, these are all the statistics. This is a very small percentage that this can happen statistically. It's never happened. It's never happened in my practice. But that's not to say that it can't happen. Like I'm saying, legally, nobody could, you always have to cover yourself.
Absolutely.
If you were like that, like if you're like 100% chance it won't happen, that is an opinion because you're, that's based off nothing statistical. I mean, it's statistical, but it's like you left little room for error by saying this will never happen.
Right.
So, a fact is an objective piece of information that can be proven true or false. It can be verified with more than one piece of reliable evidence. So, stuff like when you're doing probability, it's running against several different models. That's why I said that's that. And an opinion is, I'm trying to scroll down to get the actual. Come on, computer, don't be hating on me like this. Okay, opinions cannot be verified. They can be supported by evidence in persuasive writing, but it doesn't need to be. Anyone can have an opinion about anything because it doesn't need to be based on anything in reality.
Right.
And that's the world we're in now.
And that's what I'm saying about Fox News. They go from their opinions.
Yeah,
that's what I was trying to get at. And then they bring on people with opinions without having backup or done the research to see if that person is or actually doing the research or having high probability of this can possibly happen. They say stuff like if you gargle mouthwash, somebody said that on Fox News. If you gargle mouthwash for 10 to 15 minutes, you can kill COVID. And it's just like.
Fox News can be very, very, very reckless, for sure. And I think on the spectrum of things, they are way out there. But I guess I don't ever want to give the idea that and all other news is right, because all the other news sources have also been proven to have been very sensational and try to drive the same verbiage over and over again to persuade you to believe in a certain thing, or they won't cover other things because this is more ratings. So it's kind of we know this is what excites you, but so we won't talk about this little thing. So I think a lot of news is still problematic in that, but Fox News for real is on another level.
Right.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
But you can't escape opinions though. Even on NPR,
Yeah,
or BBC, they're gonna have some sort of opinion. You can't just say, "Hey, this happened." That's it. You have to. You have to have some.
It depends on the news source. Like, have you ever watched like evening news? Like on CBS Evening News, on one platform was proven to be like the most non-biased evening news, and they pretty much will be like, in Shelby, North Carolina today, Malachi Hamrick signed for, did a written commitment to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Shout out to Baby Cuzzo. And then you'll move on to, they wouldn't say shout out to Baby Cuzzo. That kind of deflected. Mm-hmm. But then they would move on and they would say, and in testing, end of year testing, 87% of all high school seniors scored a level 4 and above. Like, that's the type of news that they don't give any. They're just telling you what happened throughout the day. And there's several news places. There's actual programs that do that.
But you understand, by saying 87% scored 10 and above, you could have went the other way. That's still an opinion. You could say 20% of people failed.
Yes, but either way, the statistic is correct. It's not an opinion.
Right, but you're leaning towards the negative or the positive.
So that's not what.
That's their direction of where they want to go.
You're saying that's a bias,
right? If you say 80% of black people have saved money during the Christmas season versus saying 20% of white people are going broke during the holiday season.
So, yeah, that's a perspective. I can give that. That's a normal bias.
Right.
But I don't even think that, like, normal, because they could be like 87% of high school seniors scored 4 and above, and 13% did not make the cut. When we spoke to the principal said, we'll work better on getting that. We'll work to getting that number better to 90% next year. Like, that's how the news should be presented. Right. Yeah.
You got to go both perspectives.
Yeah.
And is it good or bad? Because if it's actual good news, if it's actually good news, you're going to go with the positive side versus focusing on the negative.
I will say there's some like news stations that actually do well in presenting facts like that.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time,
it's not entertaining. It's just
not
like,
entertaining.
It's not. It just letting you know what's happening in the world. And you're like, oh, okay.
When you focus on an extremely high number or extremely low number, mm-hmm. It makes it, ooh, I want to share this information.
Yeah.
Because you say, 5% of potato chips have contained, mycolocaine acid and has killed numerous pets in the northwestern region. It's like, whoa, I need to tell people about this.
Right.
That's it.
You know what else is happening?
What else is happening, Twila?
Well, let me tell you what happened to me.
Oh.
I got an email from student loans. Mm-hmm. Saying,
we are not forgiving you.
No, they pretty much that, but pretty much was like, hey, we're back. Hey, big head, what's up? No. Starting February 1st, you got to pay this bill.
So they just stopped. It was a deferment, right?
It was all, like they had put a pause for relief. There was a student debt relief that was given to get us through
the pandemic.
And let me tell you, saving that little bit of money did do something. Mm-hmm. Hope we're all paying against our interest. But at the same time, people are like, man, this is coming back. Yet the pandemic is still here. Omicron is here. Inflation is real. Joe, what about that student debt cancellation?
But on the flip side, because we're doing the opinions. Mm-hmm. What about the companies that actually need that money?
Yeah, I'm sure companies need that money. They put it out there for a reason. But for those of us,
right. But I thought he also said each student will get $10,000.
Exactly.
So he's telling those false lies.
The student loan forgiveness, I believe
Right.
Joe forgot.
Yep, that's funny.
There
Got
was,
us.
we were expecting at least $10,000 to be cut off. They're saying, like, I guess, like, pretty much people in his party are like, hey, this doesn't look good, especially the progressives is like, hey, this is what people really wanted. Elizabeth Warren was about that life. Bernie was about that life. We see that this is what the younger people voted for. Don't forget about them. Mm-hmm. And Joe was like, "F your student loans."
Yeah, I think at least eradicating $10,000 for each and every last person
will help a lot. Unless there's some people with some ridiculous student loans,
just
like
10,000, dude. That's
it. But then I also feel like, I know that supposedly there's a plan and they're going to address it, but I don't know. Like, I've been trying to defend Joe. We talked about this. I've been trying to defend Joe. I'll say it this way. For me, he was not my first choice. We know this. I was Elizabeth all the way. Mm-hmm. But then I was like, hey, guys, we just got to get Trump out of office, which I still believe that I will vote the same way I did each and every time for that. But it's like, listen, if we're going to choose this same old white dude, literally, to lead the country, like more of the same old, let us be about certain platforms. Let's hold them accountable, which I think is important to hold accountable. And people are like, well, Joe's been in office less than a year. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, this has, people are disappointed in the things that haven't happened. And then you're seeing like the economy not doing as well as you want, and so I'll be like, well, we're literally in a pandemic.
Right.
He's been in office less than a year, and people are like, well, the economy's bad. I'm like, you inherit the economy of the previous president. So like, I've been defending him like that, but then I'm like, all right, Joe, all right, get your party together. Yeah. There's some things y'all got to vote through, and there's a lot of people who are really counting on you to do student debt cancellation. Even if, like you said, even if it's just 10,000, that will help so many people. And you've been talking about this Build Back Better. Let's play some House of Cards. Learn from that Netflix show on how to get some stuff done and handle it. Joe Manchin, I'm sure you got something on him. Right. Kristen Sinema, I know you got something on her. Use it. Yeah. Let's play nerdy, people. Let's get it done.
Yeah. I hate that they played the political game on us and hit us with the if you vote for me and I will do this for you, and then it was like, but then it's like one of them things of like this could be the idea of your student forgiveness, student loan forgiveness. And they were like, Joe Biden was like, here, put this in. They were like, the next guy was like, well, you have to have some sort of foundation to land in the ground. It's like, okay, well, let's put this here in place. It's like, you still got a lot of room down here, and you keep stacking things on there. It's like, okay, now we got to pull money somewhere else. It's like, all right, well, what happens if I just create money? It's like, if you do that, you're suffering from blah blah blah. You're suffering from this, and our dollar goes down. It's like, oh gosh, all right.
Let me take that off. I know it's a lot of stuff that we don't know that go into play for like these, especially like these big bills, right? Like where you're really trying to do some huge, pushing through some big numbers, and to get everybody on your plate. But then people start using certain pieces as their chess piece, like or like their ransom, like. Okay, so you wanted a Voting Rights Act? We want, so, like whatever it is that they want, like, I don't know, taxes or,
What if you found out that the reason why the student forgiveness loan, right?
Student loan forgiveness.
Student what?
Loan forgiveness.
What would you do if you found out the student loan forgiveness program got canceled because he needed to create a huge shield over the earth because it was about to be attacked by aliens? He's like, I didn't want to tell y'all, man. I just need to prepare.
Well, in that case,
would you want to know?
Listen,
exactly.
No, because listen, there's been UFO sightings recently, right?
Yes, boy, I'm saying yes.
They coming.
It's like, and then somebody was like, we have about 40 days to figure this out. Because they're on their way. They've already shot a warning shot. That's what the tornadoes was. That's what the earthquakes was. That's a warning shots. They literally, aliens are controlling natural disasters. And they say if you do this again, the lease is up on the earth. We got to leave. So they're coming now and they're going to blow up the earth.
So my student loans is saving us.
It's like, hey, we need that money with student loan forgiveness, and we need to create this shield around the earth.
Yeah.
Would you be like, I get it, Joe. I'm glad you didn't tell us
that. I guess I would get it. But I feel like the earth is ending anyway. So
but would you want to hear that, though? As in, like, hey, like he was that honest, like, hey, all right, y'all want to know? I'm using the money for y'all little loans for students to protect us. I'm about to create an ozone layer filled with vibranium. Yes, vibranium exists. I'm sorry. And you know what else exists? I had nothing else.
Well, you just told us aliens and vibranium existed in the same, so that's way too much. I mean, listen, I get it. There's some stuff we don't completely understand, but at the same time, daggone it, Joe. I've been having your back. Just have mine once. Nope. Just have my back.
I mean, I think we all vote for him because his name sounds familiar. A lot of people don't realize that a lot of people don't follow politics.
Yeah, I know.
And if you start throwing out names to them, they be like, I have no idea who that person is.
Yeah.
So a lot of people vote from familiar names.
Yeah. That's
why you visually see a lot of billboards, mayors and governors around the, on yards and billboards. You be like, oh, I do know Joe Manchin. I have seen that name, Condoleezza Rice. Oh, yeah. I have seen that name before.
It's a familiar name. You're like, okay, they must be cool.
He must be cool. I've seen that name before.
They have experience.
Vote.
Yeah.
Vote.
Yeah, for sure. That used to be my strategy back in the day when I was really young.
Right.
Especially for like those little local positions that I didn't know quite what they did.
Ooh, hold up. What if all this time when politicians create controversy, your name is in the news, right? Mm-hmm. So when your name is in the news, a lot of people know if it's good or bad. So they hear that name a lot, and they're like, they must be good because I've heard this name. I've heard Marion Barry.
Right.
I've heard that name before. I would definitely vote for him in.
I think, like they say, all publicity is good publicity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, when a small percentage of the people, I would love to know the percentage. I'm not even going to throw it out there, but I'm just going to say 20% of the United States actually follows politics, like know them very well, and if they're good or bad. A lot of people are just kind of like, I have a smart friend that will tell me where to vote and tell me how to vote, or they just like, I don't care. Right. Just as long as I get my money on time, as long as I don't have to pay high taxes.
Do you think more people would vote and care to vote if like election day was like a national holiday? No.
It is a national holiday.
But like if you took off and
no. It would I think more people will be take voting seriously if we had immediate results. Like I'm making $100. Yeah. Like if I made $100 an hour and then you voted for Jack Jill and you made like 66, like, yo, what the hell? Who did I do wrong? Now you looking up like, what did I? Oh, he the one who took about $40.
Yeah, I think like politics is so complicated and hard to understand. Like when you realize that oh, this one person can't do everything. Like it's a whole system. So he's going against this whole party, or he's, they're having to work against all these obstacles. That's frustrating. It's like, it is one of those, like, like some people get overwhelmed and frustrated and give up, and other people are like, well, that means that we got to vote for everybody, know all the positions, like get everybody in place. So, I mean,
it would be nice if politicians was like the organs of our bodies. But we want, like, if it was like, okay, Joe Biden is the heart, Kamala is the brain, and they're all working together to lose weight. We're all figuring it out. Like, we got the mindset, we got the blood flow, we got the skin, we're moisturizing, we're drinking water. But sometimes I was like, I want that deep fried Twinkie. And they start ruining stuff. Yeah. And it's like, oh, it's not that bad. It lets things pass. Your hand is grabbing and stuff in your mouth.
You got a whole new analogy over here.
I love that analogy. But we, if our whole objective, because I think America is like a 500-pound man that's trying to lose weight. You're trying to get on the right path.
Yeah.
If we had gastric bypass, if we had that and we see the immediate results, we'd be like, he's the greatest president of all time. Yeah. But when we lose inches every 7 years, it's like, man, he ain't did nothing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Those are bars right there.
Good job. What?
They're like, what, man? We going the opposite direction. It's like, man, I'm trying. I did 10 sit-ups, 45 push-ups. We're not losing weight. We're going the opposite direction.
Well, it's also because now I gotta get a haircut and then my nails done. My nails they're overgrown, ingrown nails right now. I gotta get that fixed. I can't work out because the gout that's happening.
Right. It's like, before we start working out,
yeah,
I gotta get a do-rag because I just got my hair done. I gotta oil my hair so it don't get dry. Like, we ain't started the workout process, and we like, y'all ain't did nothing yet. It's been 1 year. We lost no weight.
That's a good analogy. Good job.
On, man.
Good job.
It's the body of Christ.
Okay, now you think you preaching. Right. Before we end for the day,
wrap it up.
Yes. Truth or dare, Dion?
Dare.
Dang it. All right. Take out your phone. Do you have Facebook on your phone?
Nope. Sorry, no Facebook for me. I go online.
Okay.
What you got? Truth then, truth.
I was going to say.
You were, but you're not going to say it no more.
I need you to post on your Facebook page without explanation until after this airs.
This is not even a punishment.
This is a dare.
Right. What is it?
Had the best pole dance class last night. I think this is the job for me. I'm giving it to you slow.
Hello. And why am I doing this?
It's a dare, truth or dare, because I thought of it.
Right, but why aren't you doing it?
I asked you truth or dare.
Right.
You chose dare.
Right, but why? If I gave that to you, you wouldn't have done it. I can do that.
I would have never taken a dare.
Right, but why would you say? I don't mind doing it.
If you don't want to do it, it's fine.
I don't mind doing it.
I just asked you truth or dare, and if you don't want to do it, you could do a truth.
No, do it. I don't care.
Okay.
You understand the benefits of being a comedian is people really don't take you that serious. So go ahead and type it in.
Okay. He's gonna let me type in a status for him.
So is that it?
Is that it?
Yeah.
No, it's a whole long one.
It's a whole long one.
I'll read it when I'm done.
Yeah, I don't mind. So what I'm saying is that it. So I don't know if it's like, should I start wrapping it up?
Yeah.
All right. So if you guys are reading this on Facebook, just know that this was the dare that I chose, and I'm not afraid to post things.
You really aren't.
I'm not afraid. I mean, as long as I'm not killing nobody, like that's going to actually threaten my life or admitting a crime or some sort of Me Too statement.
I would not do that to you.
Right.
I'm not like, what's that weekend update with what's their name? Where they be
Punky?
trying, huh?
Oh, Punky?
No, with Colin Farrell and what's his name?
Oh, yeah. That's pretty funny. I'm sorry, y'all, for yawning. I have been going nonstop today, and it is midnight because Twilla is a douchebag.
I'm a hustler.
Came here with all intentions of starting to shoot at midnight.
Sure did. All right. So you want to know what your post says?
Go for it.
Had the best time in pole dancing class last night. I think it's the job for me. In fact, if I get 100 likes on this status, I will pole dance live for all of my friends.
Go for it.
I would never post that.
No, you wouldn't. Why? What do you think is going to happen?
I just feel like, oh my God.
You can literally have the video the next day and say, this is what happened. Golly, dude. That's what it's about. You're out of control. All right, y'all.
I was just doing something different.
Thank you, guys. No, I'm not. If it's not threatening my life, my kids, my family, or a killing or my career, the advantage of being a comedian, you get away with a lot of stuff. People never.
I was more so saying like the truth or dare. Like we never did that.
It's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun. But you said you would never do it.
Like I've never been a dare person.
So
like we play truth and dare, I'd be like, what you want to know?
So if I give you a dare, you won't post it on Facebook, no matter what it is.
I'm not gonna find out what the dare is. That's just been me.
So if I give you right now, would you consider it?
No.
Why?
I said truth or dare.
Right. I'm talking to you about
and
dare.
I said I would do truth.
I'm talking to you about dare. If I dare you to do something, what do you think is going to happen?
It's a very
You're afraid of people
thing.
think it's going to say about you?
Yeah, I just don't want that out there for me.
What do you think I'm going to say?
I don't know. You just asked. I just told you my stance in life has been never do a dare.
What if it's
if I took the dare?
Listen, I know your limit. If I say something like just get off work and these 38-year-old knees has been speaking to me saying that 40 is around the corner or something like that. Mm-hmm. That's a problem?
You just put my age out there. For all the people.
But the point is, that's the dare by saying your age. Mm-hmm. And that's embarrassing?
It depends on my mood.
What if I say close to 40?
Okay.
Today, my knees let me know that I'm close to 40. Would you post that?
Probably.
Right. Because I know your limit.
Yeah.
You won't do it, will you? That's very simple. You won't do it?
Yeah, I could post that. I'm not upset about that.
All right. Wherever we go. Thank you guys again. She's not going to post it. Thank you guys.
You didn't say truth or dare, and then you didn't say...
I don't care about your truth. We're doing dare.
Well, you didn't say I
That's
dare you.
That's the point.
You just asked a hypothetical. You didn't say I dare you to.
I dare you to go on Facebook and say, I haven't drunk water in 2 weeks and I'm not ashamed of it. You afraid to say that?
No.
Go and say it.
Oh, gosh.
You gonna drink water right now? Cause why? What do you think is gonna happen?
I don't know. This is silly. Oh gosh.
It is.
I do drink water, guys.
Oh my gosh! Literally, you have water. This is inspired the status. You're such a punk.
I know. What are people gonna think? I haven't drank water in 2 weeks.
Oh boy.
I haven't drank water in 2 weeks, and what?
I haven't drunk water in 2 weeks, and I'm not ashamed of it. It doesn't taste good.
I feel like I'm gonna be ashamed.
Oh my gosh! And then you gotta log off.
No. I can't do it.
Gosh, yo. Use this clip for the soundbite. Use this clip as a soundbite so it can give you a head start of what people are. Okay, I see what they're doing now. All right. You guys have been magnificent. If you stayed this far, thank you so much. This is another fantastic episode of Random Ass Conversation with Twilla ellipses / / Dion Lack. See you guys next week. Hopefully, maybe somebody else because Twilla won't be here. Maybe a Zoom. We'll figure it out though.
Figure it out.
We wanted to give her shout out to our sponsors. Newer batteries. 15 minutes of you guys been great.
Oh gosh.